Hello and welcome. My name is Jotham. I'm just going to be showing and talking about this game that I made with my brother. I'm going to be explaining the design principles that I wanted to use, in especially the level design. And hopefully you can see that when I'm walking through the game, that it's not just random, but actually I've been very intentional in trying to place the different things. The game itself is called Bedivere's Quest. It can be downloaded for free on itch.io. The game is a top-down action adventure, a little bit similar to Zelda. This is your character, this little red guy. You walk around a little bit, you see coins. Ooh, interesting. And you come, oh, that feels nice. Okay. You go closer to this guy on the floor and he kind of fades away and you pick up the sword and then, okay, the UI kicks in. So the controls can be found on the main menu. I have both controller and keyboard. I'm just going to be using the keyboard for this demonstration. So you can follow the coins even further. And here we see, okay, a ladder's going down. Okay, what am I supposed to do? You can come closer. It says interact. Okay, we'll press E. And then you launch into this new room, and straight away, enemies come at you. Just start to slash and bash, and they win. They defeat the enemies. That's nice. And they see, okay, so some more coins. So they'll come and collect the first couple, and then the third one. And then in the viewfinder, you'll see, at the bottom right, there is a chest. There is a bridge. Okay, they're not connected, but if I go across the bridge, maybe I'll be able to go to the chest. Quite often when designing a lot of the levels, I wanted to make use of how much you could see. I didn't want to have too much going on the screen at the same time, and I wanted to use the amount of space the player could see to drive them forward. So again, they see the bridge, they see a coin, so they'll come along further, and by coming further, they're introduced to another enemy type. This is some kind of archer. They will come closer, start to attack, and then the other enemies will also come to attack them as well, forcing them, okay, these people aren't friendly, I've got to fight. Now they can come back and collect the chest. And you'll notice after they've collected, okay, without any extra confusion, it's still obvious where the player can go. There's still a coin within the viewfinder, so then they can come back and it's easy to see where they're supposed to go. Just by following further, more enemies come and attack. I wanted to give the player different ways of fighting. You can notice that when I'm laying up the shield, that the enemies can't damage me, but actually if I shield bash at the right time, I can send the arrows back, and this just allows the player to have a couple of different strategies when fighting. So after defeating the enemies, there's not really much else to see in the room, just a couple more coins and a strange looking mouth kind of thing. So if we come closer, again it's prompting us to interact. Okay, we'll go through. Straight away, an enemy starts coming towards us, and we can start to fight them in battle. The kind of cross-flashing thing is health. It will replenish your health bar. I wanted actually to have the fight and the health next to each other on purpose, because either just before they start to fight, or if they are thinking ahead, after they fought this enemy, they can collect more health. Coming down, they see another bridge, drawing them down, and other enemies coming towards them, similar type. Maybe you noticed it before, that the enemy is tougher because whenever I'm attacking them at first, it's just attacking their shield before attacking the enemy itself. So again, it being drawn downwards, the bridge is saying, okay, come down, come to the side. We see, okay, there's some more for the health area, but first there are some more enemies. Initially there wasn't another health area here, but we found that after lots of players were dying here, they just needed some more health to help them along the way. And again, more enemies are trying to overswarm just after you've gotten the health. And then finally another big one of those enemies comes down to try and attack you. Rounding off the enemies in the level and giving the player a sense of achievement. So we can see in the viewfinder now there's a chest, there's a key. The key is the same color as the door, so that would intuitively mean, okay, I can't enter without the key. But just in case it wasn't intuitive to get the key now, okay, they can't enter, they need to get the key. Oh, okay, it makes sense. They come over, pick it up, interact with the chest, get the gold, and then they can move through to the next section. And then this is just a section in between the levels. This is to make sure that the player can have a breather, but also give them complete health as well. Quite often in games, it's important to make the game feel fair. I didn't want to just boost up the health of the player without them doing anything. Sometimes games do this, but it feels a bit unearned, whereas here, just by having a small room, a chance to regain your health, and it just makes the whole experience feel, yes, okay, I'm deserving of this, I'm ready to move on to the next section. So I didn't design the second level, actually my brother did, so it's not really fair if I take any credit. But what I will say is that in the second level, there was introduction of a new enemy type, this kind of dog thing that attacks in packs, as well as a further exploration of the key mechanic. And so the main objective was to get through a door, and this door had 3 different colors of locks, and then you find the door first, and then you look around, and then you have to find the keys, and then you come back together and you can unlock the door and go through to the next section. Again, this is a level between levels, and so the player has a chance to regain their health. And also there's a visual change going from the green of the forest towards this blue of the underground, and there's lava, and really just tries to set the atmosphere for the next level, which will be much more challenging. So straight away in this next level, the dogs come and attack. No time to think. We really wanted to make sure the enemies all felt different. They had different visual styles, but we were clearly baddies. They all had red eyes. Again, the path is obvious. The coins are leading you on. We see, okay, there's lava here. And there's also a bridge. We can cross it and we see, oh, there's not really any way across. And enemies are coming towards you. They want to come and fight you, but there's no real way to do it. You see, oh, there's a lever, so then we can interact, and keen players maybe will be able to realize, okay, they can actually drop the enemies into by using the bridges into the lava. It's not necessary mechanic in order to complete the game, but it just adds another layer of expertise for the players to attain to. So after defeating that first area, just being introduced to this idea of the bridges, we move on. There's some coins coming up top, going to the right as well. A big enemy is coming, defending. There seems to be some health, and then also a secret room here with some chests as well. Coming back down and to the right, there are also some more enemies, and it's a difficult one with the archers, just to keep the player on their toes, and also because the player's just received some health. So we can kind of see now, okay, within the viewfinder, there are actually 2 levers. So we can see that the only way is to go down, and so after defeating another tough enemy, we are given and rewarded some more health. And I placed another health checkpoint here because we actually found it to be too difficult without an additional one here. We press the interact button, we can see the lever moves. You can even drop them into the lava. And then we can see the other lever will bring up there, so we can come back and be able to go. But I also want to collect the chest as well. Bringing that back, and again, this is just the idea of having the whole puzzle inside of one viewport. And so because of that, it just allows the player to always be able to see what's going on and ensures that the game doesn't feel too difficult. But because of just the limitation of having such a small view, that's why we did the puzzles in this way. Following the chest forward, some more enemies. These ones not too difficult. After defeating them, some more health. We can see I'm already low on health. And then, okay, again, by collecting the health, we can see what's coming ahead. More enemies are coming. And then coming through this choke point, we come towards the third puzzle, our final puzzle involving the bridges and the levers. And this one, again, we use the whole of the viewport to try and help the player find the solution. We can see a lever here and a lever there. Pulling the first lever allowed us to go on to the center island. After defeating the archer, you'll also notice that there are other enemies across on the other islands. Now, on purpose, these enemies aren't ranged. This is to give the player more opportunity to see what they can do and what their next step should be. We can actually see in the bottom right corner, there is another bridge. If I then press the interact button, it's coming to the extreme other end. And then they have another lever as well, a secret room for extra gold, but this other lever is then able to bring the bridge back, and pulling the lever allows the player to progress over the bridge. And then just before I move on, at this point you can also see that the blocks are changing on the right hand side of the viewport. We see, okay, they're a bit darker now. What's going on? What's something new? Some more enemies come to try and attack you. I gave some more health for people to run to and try and get some before they continue to fight the enemies. And then by coming this way, okay, they see it's another door, sort of, and they can go through and interact. This is the final break, but then we definitely see, okay, something different and something new is going to be arriving now. So this is the final boss. This is where you'll be making use of the culmination of all that you've learned in the past 3 levels. Again, it's quite clear which direction you're having to go. Up, there is some red carpet as well. And then the music changes. We have an extra UI come at the top. And this is the enemy, Isil, King of Mercia. So we can see here, Isil has a shield. And that's, you have to beat the shield before you can defeat and take down his health. So he's similar to the larger enemies that we encountered before, with an added extra difficulty in that if you get too far away, he will throw these javelins at you, which can also be replied and sent back. It's quite likely the first few times that the player fights Isil that they will die, that they will fail. And this is fine. As a boss battle, it's supposed to be difficult. But after a few tries and trying to chain attacks or trying to get the timing right, eventually it can be beaten, he can be defeated. And I think this boss was the right level of difficulty. We had in playtest that people were able to defeat it eventually without too much time, with the right amount of time, and that it felt like he was a very worthy adversary. They can collect a blue key and then they can go to the final part of the game, the ending. So this is the final part. Just by following the coins, the music changes one final time, and then just a nice rewarding end. Throw the sword away to the Lady of the Lake, she can collect it, and the quest is completed. And then that's the end of the game with some statistics and some credits. And so that's just hopefully an overview of what I was thinking when I came to designing the levels, some parts that we changed as well. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Okay, bye-bye now.